Okay, so this is just a test. Because I'm thinking about starting a channel, but I guess this is some sort of introductory video. But one of the things I wanted to talk about is that I think I might be onto something really, really fucking scientific here, right? So over the past few days, I've been, well, not just days, but weeks and months, if not fucking years, I've had a really, really bad social media addiction now. Of course, this is brand new. Everybody's been fucking having one, right? But over over the past few days, I've come to the realization that I might be onto something fucking big here, right? Because okay, it's normally I'm a very disciplined and hardworking person, all that shit, right? But every time I go onto social media, specifically YouTube, and I think that's my problem, is because I always just assume like YouTube somehow isn't social media or is not as bad, which obviously is a dangerous trap because I always end up just doom scrolling for literally hours on end. For the amount of times I've just doom scrolled, as you call it, for hours and hours on end, and I end up staying up until like 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. It's just ridiculous. But my point is that typically, yeah, I'm very regimented. I do this at this time, this at this time. I don't like to do more dabble in too much bullshit, right? But every time I go on YouTube, it like draws me in, it like sucks me in, and I just can't get out. And you know, especially in recent times, it's made me kind of think that maybe there's something like deeper to this addiction. Maybe it's just not a case of how these content creators and just how the YouTube algorithm and how the entire thing is structured. Maybe it's just a way of just pinpointing some kind of chemicals in our brain and just making us just be drawn into this shit because so I'll be honest, right? Last night I doom scrolled, but it wasn't that bad. And by not bad, I mean about 2.5 hours. And so I went to bed and I didn't feel too great. I remember specifically saying to myself over and over again, I hate myself and I hate my life. But I woke up next morning, the morning after today, and I just felt like completely utter shit. Like, okay, I felt good because I still managed to get a decent amount of sleep. I got about 6 hours, 6.5 hours of sleep, which I consider to be very fortunate considering that I went to bed at like 1 and I probably didn't get to sleep until about half 1. And then I woke up at 2 and I woke up at 8, sorry. So, but then, so one thing that I do right is I normally work out every single morning. I work out every morning, both for conditioning and strength, but these days it's just for my mental health, really. I just need something to give me a positive boost and just to get a constant, really strong flow of endorphins early on in the morning. But I just couldn't get myself to do it. I just kept thinking to myself over and over again, I can't be fucked, I can't be fucked. And I don't want to do this, I feel like shit. I still did it. Um, I didn't procrastinate too much. One thing that I did do in the past was I'll doom scroll basically all night, wake up on very a tiny amount of sleep. So this time I've got 6 hours, but in previous cases I've gotten 3, 4, 5 hours, something like that, 2 hours maybe. And even then it's like fragmented because I can hear people go into the kitchen and stuff like that, going to work. So um, yeah, so if I'll get some shit sleep, I would. get prepared to go and work out, which is just in my room here, and then I would say to myself, I can't be asked, I'll do it, yeah, in a few seconds, and then I'll just continue to go further on Instagram and whatever, YouTube. So I didn't do that this time. I just got down and got to work, and I felt better afterwards. But that's the thing, right? Is that I feel like I'm kind of causing or encouraging or validating my addiction. Because what will happen is that I'll do this. I'll doom scroll until fucking early hours of the morning. I'll wake up, feel like shit, have a fantastic workout because I think, okay, I need to compensate somehow. I need to do something in order to compensate this bad, which is my general philosophy in life, really. How can I make something good out of bad? How can I make chicken salad out of chicken shit, if that makes sense? So I had a fantastic workout, one of the best workouts I've ever had. But part of me thinks it's maybe justifying my addiction. Because what if just now, after I finish just talking on, I end this video recording and I just doom scroll again with the thought in my mind, oh, I'll just, I'll make it up in the morning. But I don't know. But if I do decide to upload this to YouTube, which is very ironic, like, my main question is, does anybody kind of feel that way where it's not just a simple case of you just being lazy or whatever the case may be, where you just sat and scrolling? It feels like you really, really can't just get off. Like you have to physically force yourself. It's like being kidnapped by an orangutan, right? I mean, it's not really scary. It's not like being kidnapped by a fucking crocodile, right? But if you get kidnapped by an orangutan, that can be a grueling experience, right? Because they just grab you, right? And they don't like mean you any harm. They can accidentally hurt you if they grab onto your neck with a really strong grip strength. But it doesn't seem scary at first, which is why you see these videos of tourists who get kidnapped by these things, and then at the start they're just joking and laughing and having a good time until they slowly come to the realization that, oh shit, you know, he's not gonna or she's not gonna let go of my arm, so I need to do something. And then panic sets in, and then before you know it, 3 hours later, you've been held captive by this thing who wants to be your, your best friend. So I feel like it's the exact same way with all forms of social media, but especially YouTube, right? Because to me, as I said, it doesn't count as a social media. But if I get drawn into that really bad rabbit hole, I just can't get out. I have to physically, like, even just so simple as putting this like bread wrapper in the bin, literally getting up and taking 5 steps to my bin in the corner. If I'm doing scrolling on YouTube and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, right? I can't even do that. I have to physically force myself and turn off the computer, but I know it's bad for me, but I just can't stop. So if anybody feels that way and feels like that there's maybe something more to this, drop it in the comment section. Unless I'm just talking a bunch of shit, and then if that's the case, someone can just tell me that is basically what an addiction is about. But I feel like there's something really, really deep here. I don't know, but see ya.